This is a very famous photo because she would do that in front of people. One of the last uncontacted tribes in the world, Joe Rogan's revelations are always baffling for the common man, and this time he's pulling the curtain on the tribe that has been violating all the laws of physics for centuries. They came there from Africa, 60,000 years ago. They were the most fierce tribe and the most difficult to get past. How do they manage to survive and thrive in the remotest of regions with barely any resources? They have a bed for Papa, Mama. What does their life look like without modern technology and convenience? Let's find out what Joe has discovered about these fascinating tribal people. The Marai tribe, guardians of cattle, are first and the most riveting on the list. This tribe is one of the most fascinating ethnic groups in East Africa, particularly found in Kenya and Tanzania. Their unique culture, traditions, and way of life have captured the attention of many, including Joe Rogan, the famous podcast host. On his show, The Joe Rogan Experience, he has often shared insights about the Marai people, their customs, and their remarkable way of life. However, behind the rich cultural heritage and the strikingly colorful clothes and jewelry the Marai are known for, there lies a deeper story of resilience and survival against many challenges. Originating from North Africa, the Maasai migrated southwards in the 15th century. Their journey was not an easy one. Along the way, they acquired cattle from other tribes, cementing their deep connection to these animals. Yet drought and disease wiped out nearly half of their population and herds in the early 20th century. As if that wasn't enough, the Marai then faced European settlers who arrived in large numbers and took their lands. By 1911, a controversial treaty with British settlers forced the Maasai to give up the best parts of their territory, pushing them to less fertile lands in Kenya and Tanzania. Despite losing much of their land, the Maasai remain one of Africa's most iconic tribes. Though now limited due to wildlife reserves, their presence in areas like the Masai Mara and Serengeti still echoes their strong connection to the land. Historically, the Maasai coexisted with wildlife in these regions, often facing dangerous predators like lions and cheetahs to protect their precious cattle. The Marai people are semi-nomadic, continuously moving in search of fertile land for their herds to graze on. For them, cattle are not just animals, they are a symbol of wealth and status. The more cows a Marai owns, the more respect they earn within their community. Cattle are also central to the Maasai traditions. They use cows as currency, exchanging them during weddings as part of the bride price. In their culture, wives are bought by cows, and the bond between families is strengthened through these exchanges. The Marai diet is deeply tied to their cattle as well. They rely on milk, blood, and meat, which contribute to their incredible physical strength. In fact, the Maasai are some of the tallest and strongest people in Africa, largely attributed to their calcium-rich diet. One of the most iconic practices of the Maasai is their jumping dance, known as Adamu. This is more than just a form of entertainment, it is a rite of passage for young Marai men. During the ceremony called Yoto, boys transitioning into warriors must perform Adamu. The higher a young man can jump, the more attractive and respected he becomes. This jumping ability, often seen as a demonstration of strength, has fascinated people worldwide. Tourists visiting Tanzania and Kenya are often invited to watch or even participate in the Adamu, though many quickly realize how challenging it is to jump as high as the Marai do. Joe Rogan has often marveled at the Marai's physical prowess, especially their ability to jump nearly 3 feet into the air without using their arms for momentum. What makes this even more remarkable is that they accomplish this feat without any modern equipment or training. Scientists have studied the Marai, but there remains something almost mystical about their ability to leap so effortlessly. Rogan has spoken about how the Marai seem to tap into something primal, a deep connection between their physical strength and their way of life. For the Marai, the act of jumping is not just a physical display, it carries cultural and social significance. It is a symbol of strength, maturity, and readiness to face the challenges of life as a warrior. Even though many of their traditions may seem controversial or outdated in the modern world, the Maasai continue to uphold them with pride. The Maasai's remarkable culture and physical prowess have earned them global recognition, but they are not the only tribe in Africa with a unique and inspiring way of life. The Chuki people, living in one of the harshest climates on Earth, embody a harmonious relationship with the land and wildlife. To hunt effectively, they excel in tracking and movement across the frost-covered terrain, making them formidable hunters in their icy domain. Just between us, let's keep this a secret: Santa Claus wouldn't want to hear about their reindeer hunting. The Chukchi also possess a rich spiritual life that profoundly influences their existence. They believe that upon death, their spirits journey to the realm of the polar star. This belief fosters a deep connection to their environment, instilling a sense of purpose and understanding of the cycles of life and death. Their burial customs are unique. They place items with the deceased, believing these possessions will accompany them in the afterlife. This practice highlights their respect for the cycle of life and their enduring connection to the earth. Culturally, the Chukchi express themselves through a variety of spiritual practices, sustainable living, and creative endeavors. Their art, stories, and rituals reflect their intimate relationship with nature and the environment. Today, local organizations, international partnerships, and government initiatives strive to protect and preserve the Chukchi's rich heritage. These efforts are vital for safeguarding their traditional practices, languages, and stories from the encroaching influences of modern society. Their determination to maintain their way of life in a rapidly changing world serves as a powerful reminder of the strength of indigenous cultures. In a world that often overlooks the wisdom of ancient peoples, the Chukchi stand as a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. Meanwhile, the pygmies of the Congo hold their own secrets of survival in the dense forests of Africa. Their ability to navigate these forests surpasses even the skills of Amazonian tribes. However, these resilient people would struggle in the harsh climate where the Chukchi thrive. The term pygmy, now considered derogatory, historically described various Central African tribes, including the Mbuti people, who reside in the Ituri forest of northern Congo. The tallest members of these tribes rarely exceed 5 feet, a physical trait that enables them to move effectively through dense forests. The indigenous peoples of the Congo Basin comprise diverse groups, including the Baka, aka, and Mbuti, whose populations range from tens of thousands to fewer than 500, as in the case of the Bedson. These small communities, which include about 900,000 individuals across the Congo Basin and neighboring countries, have preserved their hunting and gathering culture for millennia. Despite their resilience, the pygmies face constant threats, including violent attacks from cannibalistic tribes. Their small stature makes them vulnerable to those who see them as prey. Some tribes may have vanished entirely due to such violence and cannibalism. Explorers like Forrest Galanti have documented their lives, noting that awareness of their plight has increased, but their future remains precarious. Yet the pygmies' resilience and adaptability remain inspiring, offering a poignant reminder of humanity's diverse ways of living. Across the Indian Ocean, the Sentinels, considered one of the most isolated and formidable indigenous peoples, dwell on North Sentinel Island, a part of the Andaman Islands. They avoid all interaction with outsiders, defending their territory fiercely. Tragic incidents, such as the killing of an American missionary and 2 Indian fishermen, underscore the tribe's determination to remain isolated. Historically, the Sentinels have suffered from contact with outsiders, notably during British colonization, which brought devastating illnesses and bloodshed to neighboring tribes. Most of what is known about them comes from distant observation. They hunt and gather, fish in coastal seas, and construct lightweight outriggers for shallow waters. They have adapted to their environment by utilizing metal from shipwrecks to tip their arrows. Despite being labeled as Stone Age by some media, the Sentinels have clearly adapted and evolved over time. The Indian government enforces strict protection measures, including a buffer zone patrolled by the Coast Guard, to respect their choice to remain uncontacted. Their resilience and thriving population stand in stark contrast to other indigenous peoples in the region, making them a symbol of human adaptability and independence. These 3 groups, the Chukchi, the pygmies of the Congo, and the Sentinels, serve as poignant reminders of the rich diversity of human cultures and the resilience of indigenous peoples in the face of immense challenges. Each group tells a unique story of survival, connection to their environment, and the enduring strength of cultural identity. See you soon. Subscribe and like my channel and videos.